$1,500 for verified, untouched examples. Num. 9. The Canadian Slim. A thin-profile Zippo from the early 1960s looks like nothing special until you check the bottom for a specific plant stamp, referencing a Canadian production run. Same lighter, same look, completely different price if that stamp is there. Value range: $15 without it, up to $200 with it. Same lighter, different number. Number 8. Pre-1970 advertising lighters. Old gas station or airline logos on a lighter usually go straight in the junk pile. But if that company doesn't exist anymore, that lighter is now the only physical trace some of them ever left behind. No more will ever made. Value range: starting around $150, climbing fast depending on the company. Number 7. The Salesman Sample Case. If you ever find a small fitted case holding multiple lighters arranged in a grid, stop. Do not separate them. These were in-sales tools, never meant to leave the factory in one piece, let alone survive decades intact. Value range: sold past $3,000 at specialty auctions. Tacked. Number 6. The Unlisted Brushed Finish. A finish that doesn't match any catalog photo you can find online. Most people assume it's just wear and tear. Collectors who specialize in finishes know the difference in seconds. The brushing pattern has a depth machine wear can't fake. Value range: highly variable, but experiment finishes routinely outsell standard catalog versions by 3 to 4 times. Number 5. The Early Company Anniversary Piece. Commemorative lighters are usually worth almost nothing, but the early ones, tied to company milestones before 1970, are built exactly like standard production that year, meaning they carry every authentication marker, plus documented history. Value range: $300 over $800. Number 4. Hand-engraved wartime lighters. This one hits different. Servicemen used to have local engravers carve unit names, dates, and personal messages into their lighters. These traveled through history in someone's pocket. If you find one, do not add engraving, do not polish it, and don't sell it to the first offer you get. The hand-cut engraving style is something collectors can spot from a photo. Value range: documented pieces have sold past $2,000. Number 3. The Mismatched Insert Stamp. Almost nobody checks the inside of a Zippo. Pull, insert out. Early production, 1930s to early 1940s, sometimes carries a patent-pending stamp that only existed for a few years before the patent was granted. A matched case and insert from that window is rare. Mismatched swaps happened constantly over the decades, so a correctly matched pair stands out immediately. Value range: a significant premium over standard early examples. Num. 2. The Early Case. Heavier, thicker-walled, different weight distribution. Collectors say they can identify an early armor case just by picking it up, before even checking the stamp. Value range: $250 to over $600, depending on finish and originality. And now, the one that breaks every rule on this list. Before Zippo standardized its date code system in 1933, a small number of early lighters left the factory with no stamp at all. No date code. No mark. Nothing. Most people assume that means it's fake. A knockoff. A copy. Worth nothing. It's the exact opposite. No markings on a lighter with correct early construction isn't a red flag. It's proof it came before the system existed to mark it. These are the rarest, least understood pieces in the entire hobby, and they get thrown away constantly because they look like the emptiest, most worthless lighter in the drawer. Verified examples have cleared $4,000 at auction. Here's the actual mistake people make, and it's not misidentifying the lighter. It's what after. Don't post a single blurry photo on Facebook Marketplace with the caption, "Old lighter." That listing attracts flippers looking to lowball you, not collectors looking to pay fair value. Don't sell a box of mixed lighters as one lot. Pull one out. Photograph the bottom stamp separately. One correctly identified piece can be worth more than the entire box sold together. Before you price anything, photograph the bottom stamp, photograph the insert stamp, photograph the hinge from both sides. Then search that exact configuration on eBay, filtered to sold listings, not active ones. Active listings are wishes. Sold listings are facts. That lighter in your drawer didn't lose its value the day it stopped being used. It lost its value the moment it left the hands of someone who understood it and landed with someone who didn't. That gap closes the second you start asking the right questions. So check your drawers. Check the shoe boxes on the closet shelf. And if you find something with a stamp you can't read, drop it in the comments, because the next thing you assume is worthless might be exactly what someone's been searching for. Last spring, a woman in Ohio cleaned out her late father's dresser drawer. 3 scratched-up Zippo lighters went straight into a Goodwill bag. No box. No thought. Just clutter. 2 days later, a collector found them sitting in a donation bin for $6 each. He bought all 3 for $18 total. By the end of that week, he'd sold just one of them for $2,140. That's not luck. That's not a coincidence. That's system. And the reason she lost that money is the exact same reason most people watching this right now are sitting on one without knowing it. When people find an old Zippo, they judge it 3 ways. Does it still light? Does it look clean? Do I recognize the design? Feels reasonable, right? It's completely wrong. A lighter that looks brand new might be a cheap 1990s reissue worth $4. The one sitting in the back of the drawer, dented, faded, barely holding together, might be the exact piece a collector has been hunting for over a year. Condition matters, just not the way you think it does. Here's what almost nobody knows. Zippo has stamped a date. Last spring, a woman in Ohio cleaned out her late father's dresser drawer. 3 scratched-up Zippo lighters went straight into a Goodwill bag. No box. No thought. Just clutter. 2 days later, a collector found them sitting in a donation bin for $6 each. He bought all 3 for $18 total. By the end of that week, he'd sold just one of them for $2,140. That's not luck. That's not a coincidence. That's system. And the reason she lost that money is the exact same reason most people watching this right now are sitting on one without